Jeffrey Nothing, sometimes Jeff Hatrix.
I'm Ian D from Jeffrey Nothing. So
beautiful, guys. Thanks for joining us today.
yeah. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
My pleasure. So Jeffrey Nothing are releasing your new single 1000 Years very, very soon, guys. So how you feeling about it?
You can start, Ian.
I'm feeling pretty good. I think it's a very well written piece of music. Tommy writes the music, and I just think it has a really epic feel to the song. You know, it's got an awesome solo, and I don't know, I just really like it. I'm glad that we're able to release it finally, because we tracked it like 3 years ago, probably actually longer. Yeah, it might have been like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, come to think of it.
I think it was about 4.
Yeah.
We've actually played it. We've actually played it live before.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I like how, like, you know, there's a good, I feel like, balance of me and Jeff. Like, we trade off vocals and like feed off each other in it. And, you know, I like that there's like a lot of melodic singing, and then like the chorus is pretty heavy with some screaming, and then Jeff's part, he's over here, you know, doing his thing. And I like the song a lot. I'm glad that we were able to shoot a video too, because we're all spread out. Jeff's over in down in Cleveland, and I'm up in Grand Rapids, Michigan, which is about 4.5 hours away. So when I tracked it, I was living down there in Cleveland. I moved down there to work with him and Tommy. So yeah, it's exciting to be able to get it out finally. We got a lot of stuff that we recorded a while ago that is going to be coming to light pretty soon. So that's cool.
Very cool. So can you tell us a bit more about the song from a musical point of view and what you were going for with it?
Yeah, I actually wrote the lyrics when I was back in Mushroomhead, and we were writing for the Game of Thrones soundtrack.
Okay.
And it was a part that I thought about using, and it never got brought up again. And then Ian originally tracked the song, and then I just was going to add to it, and those lyrics just worked. So we used them, and I think it takes the song to a cool place, and our two ideas work very well together.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking about lyrically, like, the subject matter is very relevant as well. So can you run us through what 1000 Years is actually about? As
far as my part, it didn't start out that way. Like I said, it was for Game of Thrones, but I feel like it's talking about, I don't believe anyone ever really wins a war. And whether you're victorious in gaining some land or whatever it is, you lose a lot of people, a lot of souls. There's a lot of bleeding, and it doesn't stop just because the war is over.
Mm-hmm.
And the song's also dedicated to Save22.vet, so we are not really familiar with that over here in Australia, but can you explain what that is and who it supports?
I have a friend named Albert Wooden, and he's a vet of the United States Air Force, I believe, and he was in Afghanistan, just places in the Middle East, and he's lost a lot of friends during the war, and then every 22 minutes, I believe it is, a veteran takes their own life in America. And Save22.Vets is fighting veteran suicide. It's what it's about. A couple of years ago on my birthday, I actually took part in a hike to raise awareness and raise money to try and help. Mm-hmm. They'll actually buy a veteran a suit if they have a job interview and they don't have one, or fly them home to see their family, or just anything they can do to help make life a little easier.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And how about the video? Does it tie in with what the song's actually about?
Just like I was saying, it's about no one really winning a war and all the bloodshed that's happened over at least 1,000 years, it would seem like. And it just ties in that way because, like, just the things you see on the battlefield, I feel like you can never really unsee them. So it's got that connection.
Is it like, I haven't seen the video yet, but is it graphic?
Want to take that one, Ian?
No, it's not really graphic. It's I mean, there's some blood in it. We always use blood in our get-ups and all that, but you know, it's I think it sets the tone of the video really good. I really like the video a lot, and big shout out to Alex for doing a great job putting it together. And Alex actually drove up here to Michigan to film my parts because I wasn't able to make it down. So I think it captures because we both, filmed our parts, Jeff and I, in different places. And, so it kind of has that. And Tommy.
And then Tommy too, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex is my son-in-law, and he's a videographer and edits. And I actually performed the marriage in August, so it's nice to have a videographer in the family.
Very cool.
Yeah. He actually took our last name.
As he should.
Yeah.
And the song begins with a gentle keyboard intro before clean vocals come in saying, "I don't want to be left alone." Like it's quite a powerful opening. Is that what you were going for?
Yeah, so Jeff wrote his from that perspective, and I love it because I tracked my part first and I wrote the lyrics first, and we didn't know what we were writing about, and so we came together, and I think it goes good. And I've struggled with a lot of depression and isolation in my lifetime, and just the feeling of I don't want to be left alone, because that can be a terrifying thing if you are having some mental issues or whatever. And but also I think at the time I was going through a breakup too. So one of the later vocal or lyrics is how long to be in the light before it fades from your eyes, talking about how somebody can lose feelings for you or not want to be around you. And if you still want that to go on, that can be a very isolating, difficult thing to go through. And especially with the chorus too, being stuck on someone and not being able to get over them, you can really destroy yourself mentally and internally.
And the song's got an underlying heaviness throughout. It threatens to explode, but it doesn't really. So, in the writing process, how difficult is it to write a song like that and show that restraint without, just to build it to a point and then pull it back down again?
I feel like you can be really profound and heavy in your vocal without overly screaming it. I think Ice Cube said something about being powerful without having to go over the top. And I think a little bit of holding back can sound really intense in its own way.
Is it hard to resist that urge though? Just, you are holding back with that. Is it hard to resist just going fucking bang?
I think it's a mix. I think Ian explodes at times. And I think our mix together is really good. Like I said earlier, he does the clean vocal in the beginning, and then we both kind of get heavier, and then I do a spoken word clean part almost. And
I love that part.
I think there's not really heavy without light. If you're just nonstop heavy, it can kind of wear on a listener or whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel like having mellow moments makes heavy that much heavier.
Yeah.
And even the song opens up with me doing the cleans, and then, it goes into Jeff's part, and then my next vocal part is it's a step up, but it's still not full on screaming. And then when the chorus comes, it is me screaming, but it's not I have a couple ways I scream, and it's not I don't know really how to say it. It's not the most intense scream that I want to do when it's a super balls to the wall heavy song, But then I like it because after the chorus, all the screaming, it goes into me and Jeff, singing very clean. So I feel with this song, it's a lot of it builds up, it goes, and then it comes back. Yeah. It pulls back, and I feel that's more effective than just being heavy all the time. Which heavy all the time is cool. Don't get me wrong, but
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you.
I think in our coming catalog we have a good amount of that.
Yeah,
sweet. And I'm glad you mentioned that spoken piece in the middle too. It breaks things up a lot, and it's there for effect. So what message is that particular bit trying to get across?
It just lend itself to the part. I believe you can say a lot without screaming it, and I think the spoken part really mattered in what's being said at the time.
Yeah.
So Jeff, many people will know you from your time with Mushroomhead, who you co-founded in the early 1990s. Even though I don't think that band received anywhere near the recognition it deserved, you'd still have to be pretty satisfied with what the band achieved musically. You're pretty groundbreaking in a lot of respects.
Yeah, I mean, I'm satisfied in that aspect. I just often wonder what it could have done if it was given a little more free reign instead of someone else's plan. I'm proud of what we accomplished. I just wanted to give the fans more, I believe.
Yeah, and so you confirmed your departure from Mushroomhead in 2018 to focus on Nothing. So would you say musically this band is an extension of what you were doing with Mushroomhead, or is it a separate entity?
There's elements for sure, because that band was a big part of what I was doing. Really, I was kind of like the constant. We had Jay, then Waylon, and then Jay came back, and whatever it was at the end there. But I feel there's part of what I do in all my projects, from Purgatory to Hatrix to Mushroomhead to now this band. So I guess it does go along with it even now.
So The 1,000 Years is a 10th song you've released since then, mate. So are there plans to collate them into an album or a vinyl or something like that?
I feel like it'd be nice to make a hard copy. People ask for it regularly, pretty much. And I would like to have just something more than just you can get downloads. I like to have it be a piece we can have on tour and whatever else. 10 songs is a pretty good album.
Yeah, it's a pretty good start. And you mentioned that you've got quite a few other songs ready to go. What's the plans with them?
We did 3 songs in North Carolina with a producer from Cape Town, South Africa, named Warner Bucus, and he's at 30 gold records, 16 platinum, and 8 multi-platinum.
Right.
And he went back home to get his family and bring them over here permanently. And then we're going to mix those 3 songs. And then I feel like we have about 2 albums worth of material besides that. And it really, it's really anything you want to hear style wise. I think the sky is not even the limit by any chance.
Beautiful, guys. All right, well, best of luck with it. She's a cracking single, mate, and I look forward to seeing what comes out in the near future.
Thank you, Chris.
Awesome.
Appreciate
Thanks, Chris.
it.